Shalom, coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Loading Your Spiritual Bank. Right? Just make sure. Okay, everything's locked off. Perfect. You don't want to be disrupted when you're doing a lesson. So we're going to go into the word alms. Charitable relief of the poor. So basically if you see someone that's poor or homeless on the street, giving them money, buying them food, giving them water, something like that. It's charity, especially as a religious duty. Also that which is given to relieve the poor or needy, right? And it is a religious duty, but it's a duty of the of an Israelite that follows the scriptures, the elect. There are the only ones following the scriptures, right? It is a duty because it says to give alms. And we're going to go into that, right? Which is going to help build your spiritual bank account, which is giving alms, praying, things like that. But we're going to talk about alms specifically. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't need to go further into that. So let's go to Ecclesiasticus 40 and 24. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, both slack. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both. So giving alms will deliver yourself out of trouble more than having brethren and help. Right? So having brothers around you, help, whoever the help is, could be woman, whoever. Giving alms will save you out of trouble more than those two things, right? Which is heavy, because the simplest thing is helping someone who's in need, someone who is hungry or whatever. It could even be a family member. Maybe they need money, right? And let's say they told you they're going to pay you back, and then, it comes to the time they come to pay you back, and they're like, here's the money. You're like, just keep it, right? Just keep it. Because at the end of the day, first of all, the stuff, this money's not real money anyways. And this kingdom's going to be destroyed anyways. And on top of it, doing that, and on top of it, if you really need that money, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will reimburse you anyways. And he'll give you more than what you gave away to that person or that family member, whoever it was. He gave you double or triple, right? Because it's the Most High. It's the Most as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He can do anything, right? Giving someone $100 and you're getting back 400 from the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? He can do anything. That's nothing, right? And on top of it, doing those things builds your spiritual bank account, which is the real currency that matters, because that's the only currency that's going to get you out of here when it's time to withdraw from your bank account, So now we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 29 and 12. Shut up alms in thy storehouses. So storehouses, it's just a bank where you store things. It's a storehouse, right? It's a big building where you store things. And it shall deliver thee from all affliction, right? Oh, I didn't even see this right there. You know what? You read this, Ecclesiasticus 29:7. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded. And that's what happens. So you don't want to be in that state of mind, because let's say you gave money to a homeless guy one time and he ended up, buying alcohol instead of buying food. He told you he was going to buy food. You'd give him the money and he bought alcohol, right? He ended up getting even more drunk. One, you don't even know what that person's been through. You don't even know how they got there, right? And two, okay, if you don't want to give it to someone to get them more to feed into their demons, buy them food, right? Buy them food, give them the food, right? The point is that you did something, a charity for someone else. Whether they take it or not, you can't control that. But your intent was righteous, right? So you don't want to stop doing those things because of a bad encounter because of someone, right? Because that was just a test to see if you're going to keep doing it. Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. So yeah, exactly. There you go. You see a homeless guy, you see he's a poor state of mind, whether it's a homeless person or someone in your family, don't have patience with them, right? Don't stop to show mercy, and mercy in the sense of helping them, whether it's just helping them, talking to them, if they actually want to talk, giving them money if they need the money and you have the money, things like that, just because of what they've done in the past, right? Because even myself, I have to remind myself too, right? Because you have to remember, like, those are tests, right? And those are alms that you're giving. So you're actually helping yourself by helping someone else, right? Because you want to build your spiritual bank account so you can get out of here. When it's time of need, when it's time to withdraw from your bank account, you don't want to have insufficient funds, right? You want to have enough to get to pay for your ticket to get out of here, right? When the flood, when Esau comes like in the flood, try to take you, when they come like after you, the time of the hour of temptation, all these things, you need your money. So you need to build your spiritual bank account. Help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty. Yeah, there you go. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. But yeah, exactly, because the money that you have, you're storing here, this carnal money that you have, it's really worthless. So you might as well use it for a good cause, right? If you're using it to give to someone to help them in a time of need, that's a good cause, because it's not sitting in your bank account because you're saving it for a rainy day. That's not the money you want to save for a rainy day. That rainy day that's coming is this rainy day of those missiles. And that rainy day, that currency for that rainy day is spiritual money, not this carnal money. So if you use your carnal money to build your spiritual money, that's working smart. Remember, we have to exercise wisdom. Right? It says right there, not rust under a stone to be lost, because it will be lost at the end of the day, because this place is going to be destroyed. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High. So what treasure? It's talking about your spiritual money, right? And it shall bring thee more profit than gold. Yes, and more profit than gold is saving your life. You're being saved, being one of the elect, getting your body changed, beaming up into the chariots, be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. Yeah, that's more profit than gold, right? I read 12 again. Shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies better than a mighty shield and a strong spear. So that alms that you're putting up spiritually to the Most High in your spiritual bank account will fight for you, right? It's like you're building your think of it as like, think of it as you're just building a spiritual think of it as you had, like, okay, if you play the game, those games where you have like a guardian angel, basically. Let's just say that. Just keep it simple. You have a guardian angel. You're feeding your guardian angel. You're making your guardian angel stronger so he can fight for you and help you in things that you can't see. Make things happen for you that you couldn't see. Stop bad things from happening to you, saving you out of trouble. So you think of it as you're strengthening your guardian angel. So the more spiritual things you do to please Yahweh Shem Yahshai according to the commandments, the stronger your guardian angel gets. And the stronger he gets, the more he can protect you. The less you feed him, the weaker he gets. And the less he can protect you. Right? And the thing is, the whole joke is guardian angel can't die. He's spiritual. So, hey, it's all on you. It's your own life you're playing with. Whether you do the right thing or whether you do the wrong thing. Right? I try to make it as simple as possible to explain it. So now we're going to go to because you should think like that. These times are serious. You want to be saved. You need to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Ecclesiasticus 7 and 10. Be not faint-hearted when thou makest thy prayer, and neglect not to give alms. There you go. And faint-hearted means weak-minded, because heart always refers to the mind. So don't be weak-minded when thou makest thy prayer, and neglect not to give alms, right? So you don't be weak when you're praying. Most High doesn't like that. Right? So we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 3. There could no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Right? So if you give no alms, no good's gonna come your way. Right? No good's gonna come your way. You need to give alms. Right? That's if you want to be saved. If you don't want to be saved, then don't give alms. Right? Don't do it. I'll just tell you what you need to do if you want to be saved. This is me doing this lesson is a message to myself too. I need to make sure I keep doing it. Anytime I have a chance to do it, I'm going to do it. Because sometimes it will be something you don't want to do. Maybe it's a scenario that you're like, I don't want to do this. But you have to think about this. You're helping this person, and you're helping this person to help yourself also. Right? Because it's the right thing to do. This person needs help. If you can help them, help them. If you can't, then you can't. It's very simple. Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth. There you go. Not these carnal treasures, not these gold, riches, diamonds, money, dollar bills, where moth and rust doth corrupt. There you go. Because moth corrupts paper stuff and rust corrupts metal stuff, right? Or material. And where thieves break through and steal. Yeah, thieves can break into a treasure chest full of money and coins, right? But lay up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt. Yeah, no one can touch that spiritual money that you have built up in the spiritual realm. No one can touch it, right? That's the safest bank that you could ever have, okay? And where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your mind be also, right? So if your treasure is in the spiritual realm, if you're building a treasure in the spiritual realm, your mind's going to be in the spiritual realm because you're going to be thinking on spiritual things. Hence, you're going to do spiritual things to build that spiritual money, that spiritual currency, build up your spiritual bank, right? But if your treasure is in earthly things and earthly money, right? Like, then you're going to be thinking on carnal things. You get what I'm saying? It's very simple, right? Because you're thinking about carnal things to get that carnal money. That's where your mind's going to be, right? That's heavy. That's really heavy. It's so simple, but so deep. Matthew 6:1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them. Otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Right? And the Most High knows your intent. He knows your mind. He knows if you're purposely giving this homeless guy money because brothers are watching you, or you're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. Right? Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee. Yeah, don't say, hey guys, I'm going to go give this guy money. Let's see what happens. Like, what? Why are you saying that? Just give it to him. As the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Yeah, because they're only doing it to glorify themselves through men. They want men to praise them. Like, oh, that guy's such a great brother. Look at him. He's giving that homeless guy money. No, if it happens that one of the brothers seen you do it, then it's like they happen to see you do it. It's not because you announced that you're going to go do this thing, this so-called righteous thing, right? Really I say unto you, they have the reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. So do it in secret. No one should know what you're doing. That thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Okay? So people need to know. You have to move the best way to do it is make sure no one knows you're doing it. Right? That's just like when you're praying. You don't want the Most High you don't want no one else to know that you're doing it. It's just between you and the Most High. You're showing the Most High, you're following the law, statutes, commandments, and, you're trying to be sincere as possible. You're not trying to be vain and prideful when you're doing this, right? You see that this person actually needs it. I have the money, and I also want my sins to be cleared too. So that's why I'm doing this, right? Proverbs. Proverbs 23:4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Yeah, so don't labor to be rich in earthly things, right? Cease from thine own wisdom. Your wisdom, cease from your own carnal wisdom, right? Lead on to the wisdom, the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. Like I read earlier, wherever you lay up your treasure, That's where your mind will be. So if you lay your spiritual treasure, your mind's gonna be in spiritual things. If you labor carnal treasure, your mind's gonna be carnal things, right? So labor not to be rich. Don't be labor not to be rich in carnal things, but labor to be rich in spiritual things. That's where you want to be rich. Okay, and be laboring to be rich in spiritual things, you can't rely on your own wisdom. You have to rely on the law, statute, commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. So now we're gonna go to 1 Timothy 6:17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. Uncertain riches is money, this currency that we have right now. And the ones that are rich in this world are the banking families, right? Those upper echelon, the elite. But in the living power who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. That they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store from themselves a good foundation against the time to come. Yeah, the store is going back to that storehouse, that bank, that spiritual bank account against the time to come. The time to come is the hour of temptation, because we're already in Jacob's trouble, right? So even right now, like all the stuff you've been doing, all the stuff you're currently doing, withdrawals are being made on your behalf. Right? Your angel's going and making a withdrawal. He's making a withdrawal. Right? So you don't want your angel, your guardian angel, to run out of currency to protect you. So you need to help him help you. Right? So you need to keep on doing your job. And, keep working spiritually to put money in your bank account. You don't want insufficient funds. Not in these times. You do not want insufficient funds. Right? If you get insufficient funds carnally, that's whatever. Because the Most High can make money appear when you need it. If you need it, He will make it appear. So you don't have to worry about that. But you only make it appear if you're building up your spiritual bank account. Because those are the alms I was referring to that will save you in your time of need. Whatever your time of need is. Whether it's you need money, whether you need to get out of a jam, whatever you're about to get hit by a car, whatever the case may be. Because you don't know. That's a whole joke too. You'll know, but you don't know at the same time. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. Right. Your last one is James. I'm going to end it. And I'm also going to talk real quick. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. And that's coming for these rich men of the world. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Yeah, all the riches are corrupted. They're all corrupted riches, got from filthy gain, right? And their garments are moth-eaten. And they're all worthless too, the money that they have. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Right? Now, it doesn't just tell you that all that stuff, all that carnal money is worthless. It means nothing. Right? All that money that these elites are storing and is saving is nothing. Right? And you shall eat your flesh lest it was fire. Yeah, this is missiles. Missiles are coming and going to burn them like fire. Now, I was inspired to do this video because last night, I was coming back from the gym. I was going to get gas. A lot of spiritual things happened. I went to go get gas. I parked, and another car parked behind me. So when I went to go pump the gas, I used my debit card. My debit card apparently didn't have enough money. Or actually, it did have enough money, slack. It had enough money, but I always use premium for my cars. So the amount for premium, it was 144.9. And I was like, oh, wow. Barak Yahweh Shem Shai. Then I turn around, and I see the license plate that parked up behind me, like the car that parked up behind me, was 144. It was like letters and then 144. I was like, wow, Barak Yahweh Shem Shai. Then, right? So I couldn't pay for the gas at the gas pump for some reason. So I went inside, and as I'm going inside, now I've been going to this gas station for like at least 2 years, right? And I know my area where I live in. There's no homeless people outside in my area. Like that's not the area where you have homeless people or drunk people outside. That's different areas, different scenarios, right? But for some reason this time there was a drunk Jake man there, like a young guy, maybe in his 20s, early 20s. And he's drunk. He's in front of the door to go inside to the convenience store, to go pay for the gas. And I'm going, and he asked me if I have any change. And I actually didn't have any change. Like, I usually have change in my card, but this happened only recently. I took the change out, and I carried it in one of my jackets that I didn't have with me at the time. So he asked for change. I was like, I don't have any change, fam. And he was just like, nah, you look like you got change. You're loaded, right? So I go inside. Right, I go inside, pay for the gas. I'm thinking like, it's a little weird. I've never seen this guy before. He's never been here. And people might say, "Oh, you're overthinking." It's like, no, man. Like I've been to this gas station for years. And even just in my area in general, there's no homeless people. There's no drunk people outside of stores, anything like that. That doesn't happen, right? So this is out of nowhere, right? So I come out. He's like, he's loaded. He kept yelling. He's like, he's loaded. He's loaded. He's loaded. And I'm walking to my car. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm thinking like, I don't have any money in my account. So how would he know if I'm loaded or not? I'm like thinking like spiritually, he's right. I do have money. I have spiritual money. I'm definitely loaded in that sense. So then I'm going to pump my car. He's still yelling. He's loaded. He's loaded. And more I was thinking about it, more and more I was thinking that he was talking about spiritual money. But I'm just like, how can he know that? Because like, carnal money, I don't have money in my bank account. It is what it is. Because if I had to change, I would have gave it to him. But he wasn't angry at me. He wasn't. Usually when the homeless guys, you counter them, they get angry. They get like, oh, they might swear at you or whatever. This guy, he didn't swear at me. He just said, he's like, no, I know you're lying. He's like, I know you're lying, fam. You're loaded. I was like, what? I was like, wow. I was getting that feeling it was spiritual, right? That's why I believe it was spiritual, because spiritually he's right. I am loaded. And I told the brother about it today. And he's like, yeah, that was probably an angel. I was thinking, well, that makes sense. One, I've never seen this guy here before, ever. He's never been there, ever. Because even with homeless people, that, drunk homeless people, they always have a routine. They always have a place where they always go to all the time, right? This guy's never been here before. And then the fact that he said I was loaded, when I'm not loaded carnally, but I'm in the truth. I'm learning these law, statute, commandments, and compared to everyone else in the world, I am loaded. So I was like, wow, right? It was a faith builder. And then the fact that I seen 144 twice before I encountered this guy, right there, right? It's like, wow, Barak Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yeah, so I mean, it was just goes to show you that, Yahweh Shemel Shai is always going to watch your back if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Right? If you fall, you get back up. You don't quit. You don't quit because you fell down. You get back up. You get back up. You keep pushing forward. And also you need to think about why you fell down in the first place, so it doesn't happen again. Right? Or at least if it's about to happen, you can catch yourself before you actually fall. Right? Because you're supposed to learn, right? Anyways, I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I like to close out by saying, Ka hala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and then 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Abad, Babal, Shalom.